this computer. All right. Hi, everybody. I am Jackie Woodside, the author of the Money Vibe program and Money Vibe book, which is the foundation of this program, Unleashing the Millionaire Mind. Isn't that like the coolest concept that you've heard in a long time? How many of you are excited about that as a concept of unleashing your millionaire mind? Now, let me ask you a harder question. How many of you actually believe you have one? In order to unleash it, you've got to know that you've got one, right? So great. Thank you, Arden Connie. Can't see your first name. It just says M there. So I'm gonna have to call you Mr. Arden Connie. Faisal, thank you. So you've got to know that you have a millionaire mind in order to unleash one. So let's just start there. Who this class is for today. We're going to be on this call. We're going to be on this class for probably a little bit over an hour, but I'm going to shoot to keep it right about an hour. And I'm really committed to making a huge difference for you in terms of your relationship with money and your peace of mind. Oh, Jim Hickman. Hey, it's good to see you on here today. Turn your camera on if you can, Jim. Would love to see you. He's in Brazil. So yeah, I'd love to hear from some of you. Before we start, just drop in the chat where you're from. And I'll read it out to everybody. The chat messages are just going to me. Just go ahead and drop in the chat. Faisal, I know you're in Switzerland, Indiana, Indianapolis. Go ahead, keep dropping it in the chat. Bulgaria, Mexico, Iran. Love having you here from Iran. I've got lots of fans and followers in Iran. Idaho, British Columbia, Belgium, fantastic. Peru, Sweden. See, look at this. This is so awesome. Thank you guys. Tehran, Iran, fantastic. I have lots of clients and friends from Iran. British Columbia, fantastic. All right. So great, guys. Oh, Germany. Yasmin is in Germany. Fantastic. Love that. All right. So it's, clearly we have a multicultural, multilingual group here. I'm sorry, I only speak English and American Sign Language. So I don't think anyone needs the captions on. Would that be helpful for people to have the captions on? For some of you how do I turn those on? Some of you might be able to read the captions, and it might help if English isn't your first language. So I'll go ahead and turn those on in case anybody needs them. You guys can see the captions now. Yes. Yes. Give me a thumbs up. All right. Awesome. Great. Thank you, Cecile. Lovely. Patrice from Calgary, Alberta. I love Calgary. I spoke at a convention there many years ago, went hiking in Banff while I was out in Calgary. All right. So I am Jackie Woodside. As I said earlier, my events, my classes are always highly, highly interactive. And the reason for that is because I'm a transformational coach. And transformation is different than transaction. A transaction is where I am I'm teaching a class and I'm just putting out and you are taking in. That is a transaction. I am giving you something and you are taking it. Unfortunately, transactional education is really not how people create change in their lives. Did you hear that? So fundamentally, what I'm saying is learning more, thinking that your knowledge does not, just acquiring knowledge, taking something in terms of knowledge, does not create the change that you're looking for. What creates the change that you're looking for is not a transaction that I'm going to give you some piece of knowledge today and you're going to go out and change your life. What's going to change your life is transforming how you, listen to this, so important. What's going to change your life is transforming how you integrate the knowledge that you have into what you believe, how you think, how you feel, and how you behave. I said that kind of fast. The captions are horrible. They cover a big part of your screen. So if you speak clearly, they're not needed. Okay, Alex, thank you. That's really helpful to hear. Now, how did I turn them on? Shoot. Oh, more. That was it. Hide subtitles, live transcript off, disable. All right, great. Okay, so I really want you guys to get this. Just consuming more knowledge does not create change. All right, just consuming more knowledge does not create change. So you've got to take in information and integrate it into what you believe, how you think, how you feel, and then how you behave. That is transformational coaching versus transactional education, where you just learn something and then you forget it. In fact, I can prove this to you. How many of you know you should eat less sugar? How many of you are not doing that? Right? How many of you know that you should exercise every day, cardio and strength, like every day? How many of you are doing that? How many of you know meditation is a really great stress reliever? And if you meditate 15 minutes a day, how many of you are doing that, right? So you see what I'm saying? We have all of this knowledge. How many of you know you should be investing, 10 to 20% of your income so that your wealth grows over time? How many of you are doing that? So there's all these things. Great. That's great, Grace, that you're doing that. There's all these things that we know, but we don't do them. So I'm not interested in just giving you knowledge. So there's like, oh, Jackie, that was very interesting. And then you go about your day and you're like, Jackie who and unleashing what? Right? I'm not interested in that. I want to be like, damn, that was like the best thing I've done all month, all year. That was amazing. So in order for that to be the case, you have to engage with this presentation like it matters. And you have to you have to interact with the information such that it impacts your life. Okay, you guys willing to do that? Give me a thumbs up. All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. I've got a deck that I want to share with you guys. There we go. View. No, not presenter view. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. View slideshow. There we go. All right. Unleashing the millionaire mind. First thing that you need to know in order to engage in this conversation is you have one. You have a millionaire mind. In fact, you have something that I like to call your superpower. And your superpower is your ability to, kind of the magic of neuroplasticity, that you can impact your mind. You can impact how you think. You can impact and change how you feel through specific methodologies that you can learn. So I don't care what your life looks like, how messy it is, how ugly it is. What I know is you have the capacity to change it. In fact, let me just say a little bit about that. Some of you have been on my webinars before, and I like to say my life went from hot mess to happy and blessed, right? So my life went from hot mess to happy and blessed. The hot mess part was, clinically depressed, diagnosed with ADHD, diagnosed with chronic anxiety disorder, on all kinds of psychiatric medications. At one point, I was literally homeless because I had no money for my next apartment. I'd gone through an ugly breakup, and I was like couch surfing with different friends. I went home to my parents for a little bit. And then I ended up getting enough money together for a sublet before I could actually get an apartment. So yes, I even went from homeless to now 7-figure assets, 3 waterfront homes, work that I love. So I really know these principles, because these are the principles that had me actually get to work on myself and create the change that I wanted to see in my life. All right. So that's what I want for you guys, is to know that you are the conscious co-creator of your life through using specific mind techniques that can help you unleash your millionaire mind. So I want to start today with just a quote that I absolutely love, and it fits what we're doing today. It's from Yongey Mingyur Rinpoche, a Tibetan monk. Nothing is more essential for the 21st century and beyond than personal transformation. It's our only hope. Transforming ourselves is transforming our world. And when I teach about money, so often people enter the conversation and their mindset is so much about, what do I need to do? I got to find the right business opportunity. I need to find the right partner. I need to find the right deal in order to create what they want to experience financially. And I'm here to begin this conversation today saying nothing is more essential in your relationship with money, your relationship with finance, your relationship with wealth. Nothing is more essential than your personal transformation. And again, to be very specific, what I mean by that is your personal transformation in regards to how you think, feel, and behave in the domain of money and finance. Did you guys get that? Nothing is more important than how you think, feel, and behave in the domain of money and finance, because I promise you, I actually had this happen with a number of clients of mine. Just for one example, I had a client who was constantly struggling with money, and I kept talking to him. This was a therapy client actually back in the day when I was a psychotherapist. And I kept talking to him about needing to change his inner world. And he was a guy who was addicted to scratch tickets. And sure enough, he kind of like hit a big one. He hit $250,000. Now it's, maybe not going to change the rest of his life, but that's a lot of money. And I kept talking to him about needing to change how he thinks, how he feels, what he believes about himself and about money. And sure enough, within 8 months, he had gone through that entire $250,000 and was right back where he started from. So I point that out to say that your financial life and how you're experiencing money is the direct equivalent of your consciousness about money. Anybody need me to say that again? Your experience with money is a direct result of your consciousness about money. What do I mean by consciousness about money? I mean what you believe, how you feel, the attitudes that you hold, and how you think. Because it's those inner elements that determine what you do. It is those inner elements that determine what you do. And of course, it's what you do that determines your outcomes. Not only is it what you do determines your outcomes, but I even want to go a step further to say how you think, how you feel, what attitudes you hold, what beliefs you have. Those 4 elements also create what I call an attractor pattern. They create your vibe, right? So you meet somebody and you're like, oh man, I don't know what it is about them. I just love their vibe. Or you meet somebody else and you're like, I don't know. I really dig their vibe. Like we can actually feel what vibe is. You have a vibe about money, and we've got to get into what that vibe is so that you can elevate it, so that you have different outcomes in your behavior, but also so that you create a different attractor pattern for your experience with money. You attract people who have prosperity consciousness, prosperity mindset, who have wealth. In fact, I read this really cool statistic years ago when I was writing Money Vibe, that your net worth will be the sum total of the 7 people that you spend the most time with. That's an attractor pattern. You guys get that? Your net worth will be the sum total of the 7 people that you spend the most time with, because that's what you draw into your life. Okay? So who this training is for, who you should be on this class today if you are one of the dreamers who knows that you can accomplish more, but have yet to find the key to do so. Or one of the doers who are willing to do the work, invest the time and money, take risks, and live larger. So if you're a dreamer, if you're a doer, if you're a derelict who's frustrated, you keep hitting the same ceiling over and over and over again. You're like, I don't want it any longer. So this call is for you if you're a dreamer, a doer, a derelict, or in particularly if you're all of the above, right? This training is not for you if you're a procrastinator, wants to kick the tires. Oh, let's just see how it goes. Or, maybe things will get better next year. Things don't change, people do. Things don't change, people do. And it's not for people who are the powerless, who believe that life is random and they are unable to change their course. And it is not for the pessimists who argue that, they cannot have abundance. They can't have their dreams. They can't have their wealth. It's not for somebody else, right? It's for somebody else, but it's not for me. So really look and see, where are you? Are you a dreamer, a doer, a derelict? Are you a procrastinator, a powerless, and a pessimist? So my intention for today is at the end of today's session, you're actually going to receive a free gift from me. for just for simply attending for today, $500 value. So hang into the end of today. I want to offer you something that is going to have a direct impact on your money and unleashing the millionaire mind. So what I want you to do as we begin the class today is I want you to think deeply for a moment. I want you to ask yourself, what do you want to get out of this masterclass? Because I want, before, as you think about that, I want to ask you a few questions. How much do you actually think about your money mindset? How much do you think about your thinking? How much do you think about your thinking about money? That's called metacognition, thinking about thinking. How much do you know about how your mindset impacts your outcomes? Where does your thinking even come from? Do you know that? Do you think about that? What do you know about how to evaluate and transform your thinking? Do you know how to change your thinking when it doesn't serve you? Then what's the connection between how you think and how you feel? Do you actually know about that? And lastly, what I want you to think about is, and this is a big one, are you in control of your thinking? Are you in control of your thinking? So those are some really important questions. And I want you to just kind of mull on those. And as you mull on those questions, you know, life proceeds, listen to this, guys. Life proceeds from your intention for it. Life proceeds from your intention for it. It's just too often we don't have any intention. We go about, you know, one day after another, another day at work, another day of my business, another day of my marriage, another year. I wonder what's going to happen this year. And I'm of the mind that clarity of intention leads to clarity of living. So many of you know, I teach a program called the Life Design Course. And that is all about designing your life based on who you came here to be. So I don't want you to just show up and participate. I want you to have an intention for what you want to get out of this. So if at the end of today's class, you're like, oh my God, that was amazing. I am so glad I attended that course with Jackie today. What would you have received? What would have happened for you? So go ahead and jot down your intention on a piece of paper and also drop it in the chat so I can see some of them. What is your intention for being on this webinar, this masterclass? What do you want to get out of it? Why are you here? Why spend your time listening to some crackpot gal like me? When you're ready, just go ahead and drop that in the chat. Yeah, take actions to start rising my money mindset, a new way of thinking about money. You will absolutely get that. Learn from someone a few steps ahead of me as my mentor. Excellent. To improve my money-related mindsets. Yeah, excellent. New way of thinking about money. Okay. I want to go to the next level. Boost my awareness about my relationship with money. My intention is to receive clarity, some exercises to be able to embrace a strategy. Nice. I feel that I have a financial ceiling that I need to raise. Yeah, totally. Totally. You know, that's such a great comment, to have a better version of me in absorbing abundance. I love that. You know, I want to address that notion of a financial ceiling. How many of you also feel that you like get to a certain level financially and you just can't seem to get beyond it? The reason for that is that that ceiling that you're experiencing, the ceiling that you are experiencing is the parameters of the vibratory pattern that you live in about money. It's the parameters of the vibratory pattern you live in about money. You probably won't go way below what your vibe is, and you will not surpass and go way above what your vibe is. Again, what I'm talking about when I say your vibe is your money mindset. what you believe, how you feel, what attitude you hold, and how you think. And if you notice those four things, beliefs, emotions, attitudes, and thoughts, it creates a little acronym. Your beat, your beliefs, emotions, attitudes, and thoughts, your beat creates your vibe that creates your experience with money. Do you guys get that? So that when I'm talking about your vibe, so when you hit a financial ceiling, that is the limit, the parameter limit of your money vibe. Someone's saying, I'd like to find clarity and learn to have an abundance mindset, to understand how to really start shifting my thinking and energy around money as something that can flow into my life. Absolutely. Love it, love it, love it. Money can flow into your life. Although, there is a formula that I talk about in my Money Vibe program of, clarity plus prudent action held in high belief is the formula for your money vibe. Clarity plus prudent action. So yes, money absolutely can flow into your life more easily. I love that. And what you want to know is that you're going to have to take action. Energy follows intention. And intention follows action. All right. So just so you know, I also set an intention for our time together today. And my intention is that each participant will receive the tools, steps, and strategies to unleash the power of the millionaire mind and take your life in a new, more empowered direction. That is my intention in us being together today. I'd like to be able to control my mind. My mind interferes with everything I do. Oh my gosh, I so appreciate that. Of course it does. So at least you're aware of that. So congratulations for being aware of the fact that your mind interferes with everything you do. All right. So now that you've established your intention, I've shared my intention. Let's move on and talk a little bit about the difference between those people that enjoy a life of prosperity and those who are just getting by, right? So how many of you know people, that you're friends with, or people that are, really just enjoying a prosperous life, and they just seem to kind of always have it going on? There is something different about people who kind of ongoingly experience financial ease and prosperity, and those that are kind of constantly struggling. And again, what creates these experiences is your energy, your vibration, and how that gears up your how you think and behave, and what that attracts into your life. So the first thing you've got to look at is that those people enjoying a life of prosperity are definitely experiencing taking full responsibility for the way that their life is. They take full responsibility for the way that their life is. So in that sense, there's, knowing that if it's going to be, it's up to me. Rather than thinking, I'm going to wait and see how it goes, or I hope things get better someday, or, it's because of my spouse or my boss or the economy or the government. There is no reason outside of you for the way your financial life is. Let me say that again. That's a really important part of today. There is no reason outside of you for the way your financial life is. So if your financial life is great and it's going really well, congratulate yourself, because that means that you are creating that. I want to tell you something that's really important for you to understand. Your income will always be the equivalent of the depth and breadth of your impact and influence. Let me say that again. Your income, so your financial life, will always represent or be the equivalent of how you are experiencing the impact that you have on the world and the influence that you have. So impact and influence are two really important parts of taking full responsibility. Taking full responsibility means that you really do see yourself as the active co-creator of the way that your life is. You don't give yourself the luxury of thinking things just happen or that things are random. So taking full responsibility. The second one is those enjoying a life of prosperity see circumstances rather than problems. Let me just say a little bit about this. When you walk around relating to money like it's a problem, what you are creating in your mind and in your emotions, therefore in your vibratory pattern, are financial problems. So I say this all the time in every coaching program that I hold, and that is, there's one thing I can promise that life will give you, and that is circumstances. I promise you will have circumstances in life. I promise you, life is going to give you circumstances. Whether you have problems is dependent on how you interpret your circumstances. And again, I've done this with thousands and thousands of people. The majority of the time, the majority of people relate to their financial life like it's a problem. You guys with me? No. All right. Ask to unmute. I'm going to just pause here and let you guys ask any questions that you might want to ask. So if you're not following me, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask anything you might want to ask, or drop it in the chat. Cecilia, I think it's you that was shaking your head no. You want to ask me something? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Oh, in the chat, sorry. I'm a little lost. Can you say it again? I can't because I am in someplace. Okay, you can't talk, so you're someplace you can't talk. Got it. So yeah, so let me see. You know, in business as an entrepreneur, things happen all the time. You know, you'll you know, on my books, the books that I've published, the first experience that I had with my first publisher, it was just such a wild ride. He was all engaged and we were going to do all this stuff together. And then right as the book published, he disappeared, wouldn't answer my calls, wouldn't answer my emails. I didn't hear from him any longer. And finally, after about a month, one day I called directly into his office and he picked up the phone and he was very curt with me. And I still to this day don't know what happened. So rather than seeing that as a problem, I was like, okay, all right. I've got to figure this out here. So I took on learning how to do the book marketing, which led me to the publisher of my second book, which was a much more powerful experience. I never would have met them if I would have related to the first one, like, oh my gosh, that's a problem. I'm never going to do that again. Book publishers, you can't trust them, right? So you've got to see life just through the lens of things are just, you know, there's circumstances coming my way. And it's up to me, going back to the first one, I'm going to be the one to take full responsibility. I could have just blamed them. I wasn't going to blame them. I was going to take responsibility so that I could see this situation as a circumstance rather than a problem. And therefore, here's what else I want you to understand. When you see things as problems, neurologically, that increases the stress hormones in your brain, increases your anxiety. And when that happens, listen to this, stay with me, your frontal lobes of decision-making, prioritization, wisdom close down. So when you relate to your circumstances like it's a problem, you literally become less capable of solving them. Okay, great. You say you understand totally now. Excellent, excellent, excellent. When you see your circumstance as a problem, you neurologically become less capable of solving them because your mind gets flooded with stress hormones, your frontal lobes shut down, and you're not as able to think clearly. So number one, you take full responsibility. You don't look out and blame other people. You don't, you know, oh, give up because that's the way, you know, that things are. That's the way life is. There is no that's the way life is. There's that's the way you are. That's the way you are seeing it. That's the way you are relating to it. All right. And then the third one is so important. And again, I see so many people really floundering with this one. The third one is to have impeccable clarity versus chasing the next big thing. I can't tell you how many people I've worked with that it's almost like their entire life. They're like chasing the next thing. Oh, this is going to be the thing. Multi-level marketing programs. When I've known people who've been involved in them, and they'll do this one, and then they'll do that one, and then because this is the one that's really going to work, or they'll be in this job and then this job. You don't need to chase. In fact, you just need to center. And I'm talking about impeccable clarity about some specific things. So first of all, impeccable clarity about your mission, meaning what's your why? If you're going to pursue something, like say you want to invest in real estate, or you want to invest in crypto or Bitcoin, or you want to start a business, you want to be an entrepreneur, maybe you want to do a side gig. What's your why? You want your why to be something that's going to impact those around you, and that is something that's meaningful to you. Why are you doing what you do? Why do you want to achieve great success? Determine what your why is before you take the action. So clarity of your mission. Secondly, you've got to have clarity of your method. What are you offering people? What do you teach? How do you serve? What do you provide? I've got a colleague of mine who is a multimillionaire selling sunglasses, right? I have a colleague of mine who's a multimillionaire just selling sunglasses, but she's super clear on her mission. Her why is that she wants people to have healthy eyes and great fashion while they do it. Her method is through the selling of sunglasses. That's all she does. She doesn't sell sunglasses and eyewear or sunglasses and hair products. She sells sunglasses. That's it. And she makes millions of dollars a year because through her method, she has created tremendous impact and influence, right? Impact of being able to help people with a problem, having stylish sunglasses so that their eyes don't squint in the sun. And she's impacted a lot of people. She's created a great brand in a great niche, and she's communicated that far and wide. So clarity of your mission is know your why. Clarity of your method is know what are you actually doing? So someone typed in the chat that what they want is to have abundance flow into your life. That's great. I want abundance to flow into my life as well. But what am I providing? See, energy is always an exchange. Energy is always an exchange. So abundance will flow into your life commensurate with the degree that you were putting out into your life. So your mission is your why. Your method is what you're offering to people. And then lastly, how will you present and articulate your offer? How do you message it? Do you lead retreats? Do you teach webinars? Do you go to trade shows and have a booth? Do you write books? Do you have a podcast? Do you do social media marketing? People need to know about what your method is. People need to know about what your mission is. Why are you passionate about this thing? All of that has to get funneled through your message. So these are the things that separate people who are, enjoying a wealth of prosperity. So I want you to just look for yourself for a moment. Do you take full responsibility for the way your financial life looks? Do you see circumstances rather than problems? Or are you constantly kind of like worried and stressed out and, uncertain, seeing problems all the time? If that's true for you, I promise you, when you begin to shift that and remind yourself, oh, this is another circumstance. Yes, it's a circumstance I have to deal with. Yes, it's a circumstance I have to create a solution to, but it's just another circumstance in life. When you make that shift, it's going to raise your vibe. When you raise your vibe, you'll be more clear. And that leads you to number 3, that you can have this impeccable clarity. clarity of what's your why, what you're offering, and how you offer it. Okay. I don't want to go too fast here, so I want you to be able to take this all in. All right. If anybody wants to ask anything about that, I'm just going to pause for a second. You can take yourself off mute or you can drop it in the chat. You can raise your electronic hand, whatever you want to do. Again, for this to be impactful for you, it will be most impactful as you interact with me, as you connect with me, as you talk with me, as you get coached by me. Anyone want to step up? Go ahead, Allie. Unmute yourself, and I'd love to chat with you.
Hi there. My camera is broken, so I apologize for that.
Thank
So
you.
I'm the one who talked about money flowing into my life.
Okay.
And I think that this is an ongoing conundrum. And I absolutely agree with you that energy, goes round. It comes in and goes out. And the part about putting the energy out is where I get a little, I guess, stuck as well as confused, because it's not clear to me what I want to put out into the world. And so, is this like a tiered thing where I need to figure that thing out first, absolutely clearly before, because it's not for lack of skills, education, intelligence, experience, or any of those things. It's just a lack of, real crystal clear clarity about how I want to be contributing into the world in a way that also results in financial gain.
Yeah.
Like, I'm clear about other ways of being in the world, like energetically with friends and, relationships. But the money piece has always been a little complex for me.
And why is it complex, Allie?
I think it's because I have all kinds of family, history around money and inheritance, and money meaning things that it shouldn't mean, having all sorts of, charge that it doesn't need to have or shouldn't have.
Totally get it, Allie.
And ambivalence about it being, because there's been so much strife and unhappiness and distress around money for various different reasons. That having it is great, and it's also not. It's like.
Yeah. Okay, great. Allie, thank you so much for your generosity. And I just want to, so if anybody else, I'd like to, let me just stop share for 1 second. If anybody else is in Allie's camp, just raise your hand, your physical hand. Yeah, Allie, look, can you see the screen? Like, Allie, everybody else is raising their hand. So what I want you to know is that you are in exactly the right place. This is the energetic conundrum that people have. This is it. I kind of want more money, but I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to go about it. And is it really okay anyway? Because this X, Y, and Z about my past, and A, B, and C about my parents. And I have this ambivalent relationship about money, right? How many of you relate to that? Yeah, I see Patrice got your hand up. Yeah, Jeanette, Annie, right? We have this ambivalent relationship about money. So if there's an ambivalent energy flow, what happens? You end up cutting off, right? It doesn't flow. It doesn't flow at all. Kim, let me just go with this for a second, and then I'll come over to you. So when you're ambivalent about a thing, you're creating stagnant energy. So there's this push toward, yes, I want it. And then there's this blockage of, I'm not so sure. Whether it's love, romance, a new job, a new home. When you are putting out, if you will, mixed messages to the universe, you don't get a response, because your energy is not clear. So Allie, I want to say to you and everybody else on this call, this is perhaps the most important thing about how to unleash the millionaire mind. I'm going to say it first and then let yourself take it in, because it sounds a little weird. And then I'm going to break down what it actually means. Okay. So the statement is, you have to be careful to not believe what you think. Right? Yeah, I can see all of you like, oh, that's why I said, like, take that in for a minute. Like, you have to be careful to not believe what you think. So, let me just ask you, is what Ali said, like, I don't know, like, is money really good? I don't know. Cause like this inheritance thing, and then what my family said. So let me ask you guys, listen to me. Is that true? Is it true? Hello? Shake a head. Rebecca's saying she doesn't know. Annie's saying no. Faisal's saying no. Of course it's not true. Pavlina's saying no. Of course it's not true. Is it true that if you let's just play with this, right? Thank you, Gina. Gina typed into the chat box. No, it's not true, right? It's not true. So let's just play with it. If I inherited a whole bunch of money and then I decided what I was going to do with all that money, is that bad? No. If I inherited no money, my parents were really, really poor and they passed and I inherited no money, is that bad? No. What it is, guys, going back to this really highlights number 2 that I just taught you. What it is a circumstance. And then what I bring to that circumstance is how I create my world. And Ali, that's exactly what you're doing. You have a circumstance of what your family said and did. It's not true what they said and did. I was raised pretty poor. My mom was widowed when I was 2 years old. She had a high school education and 3 children. So we were raised definitely in the lower end of the socioeconomic strata. So I inherited a lot of those beliefs. That is what I had to transform in order to change my life. Listen, I'm going to tell you something else that's super important. Your thoughts do not create your reality. Now, some of you would be like, what? Hold up. Everybody says that your thoughts create your reality, right? Thank you, Faisal. That's very sweet. Yeah, have a great mentoring call. See you soon. Right? So Ellie says, no, not again. That's so funny. All right. So guys, listen, hold up. Your thoughts do not create your reality. Here's what does. Your beliefs underlie your thoughts. You can only think the way that you believe. Oh, thanks, Pedro. Pedro says, good stuff, Jackie. You can only think the way you believe. You cannot think apart from how you believe, right? So if you're I don't know, if you're a Black Lives Matter person here in the United States and you're all for equality and justice, and you're only going to see a police brutality situation in a certain way. You'll be like, that's the way police are. And you could see 50 examples of white police officers helping Black people, like giving them a ride home, playing basketball with the other kids, and with the kids in the street. You're gonna be like, oh, that's the except. This is the way police are. You only think the way you believe. Similarly, if you're a MAGA person in the United States, that means somebody who's politically conservative and sees the world through this lens of polarization, and they're right and they're wrong. You're going to only believe that. So the best way for you to begin changing how you think is to first off recognize what you think is not true. It's just what you think. Right. So somebody just said, but wait, if we think based on our beliefs and our beliefs are so vital, then the thought is important too. Yes, absolutely. I'm not saying your thoughts aren't important, but I wanted to get your attention a little bit. That's why I said your thoughts don't create your reality. Now, thoughts held in mind over time, of course, create your reality, but it's not the thought that's creating it. It's the belief underneath it. Change the belief, and I promise you, you will change the way you think. Let me just tell you a very brief story. All right, we're going to go over 12 o'clock today. I hope you guys can stay with me. Let me tell you a very brief story. Like I said, I was raised pretty poor. My mom, didn't have a lot of money. So I grew up having to work from the time I started babysitting at 11 years old. And I had to put myself through college, and I had to put myself through graduate school. So my relationship with money all through high school, all through college, all through graduate school was, man, it's tough, but I'm just going to get by. my last semester of college, I walked in with a Tanqueray gin bottle filled with coins and dollar bills to pay my room where I had my off-campus housing. Literally a Tanqueray gin bottle, plastic one with a slit in the top of it that I kept my coins and my dollars in. And I had that and 2 paychecks that I signed over. oh man, it was tough, but I was just getting by. Then I went through graduate school. I worked awake overnights in graduate school, went to school all day, did my internship, then worked an awake shift overnight during graduate school. And it's like, it was tough, but I just got by. And at some point I realized if I keep thinking, if I keep that belief, that's going to keep my thoughts, and that's going to create my reality. So then I created the belief through a little jingle. I created the belief that life is here to support me, that life is benevolent. And I created a little jingle. Some of you have heard it. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, healed and whole. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, healed and whole. I am happy, I am healthy, I am healed, I am whole. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, healed and whole. And when I wrote that jingle, when I started singing it, I was depressed. I was just short off being homeless. I had zero money in my checking account. But it was the energy, the vibration, the belief that the universe is benevolent and that I can be happy, healthy, wealthy, healed, and whole that created my life today. And you know what I am? I am happy, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am healed, and I am whole. So, you know what my new jingle is? I'm a 7-figure earner. Yes, I am. Thank you, God. I'm a 7-figure earner. Yes, I am. Thank you, God. I'm a 7-figure earner, and I thank God every day. I'm a 7-figure earner. Yes, I am. Thank you, God. Right? It's like, am I a 7-figure earner today? No. Am I going to be? It's as good as done. Why? Because I walk around with that in my head. I drive my car. I'm a 7-figure earner. Yes, I am. Get out of my way. I'm right. This is what changes your life. Now, if I would have gotten, and well, I did actually, I got out of graduate school, and guess what my master's degree was in? Social work. How much money do social workers make? None, right? Rebecca's shaking her head. You must know, you must be in the healthcare industry. Right. So, I mean, but it was a few years of being in social work. And then I very quickly went into social work management, went into leadership, then started my own private practice, and then started mental health consulting. And I did all of that because my money vibe changed. Because I actually started right after I got out of graduate school, a couple of years after, I started teaching a course called Prosperity Consciousness. And my vibe changed. So even as a social worker, I was making a solid 6-figure income, right? So this is what I'm talking about, taking responsibility, not externalizing things, knowing that you can create a difference. It is not your thoughts. In fact, here's the other thing, guys, you're going to have low vibe thoughts. Just like you're going to have circumstances, you're going to have thoughts of insecurity, insufficiency, scarcity, worry. I have them all the time. Do you know the only difference between me having them every day and you having them every day? The only difference is I don't believe them. Therefore, I don't empower them. So Allie, I think it was you that said, the stuff in my family and, what went on there. I got it. It's just that doesn't matter until you empower it. I hope this is useful for you guys. All right, let's go back to where I left off. I'm gonna have to click through the whole thing again. I'll just go down here. All right. Oops. Perfect. All right, cool. You guys can see my screen? Yeah, and you have the slides back up? Okay, good. Let me just check the chat. Appreciate your talent and inspired. Thank you so much, Pavlina. That's really sweet. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Maureen. That was really sweet of you. You're very, very welcome. All right. So those with a millionaire mindset do this one thing differently. Just drop in the chat. What do you think it is? And there's probably more than one actually, but for the sake of teaching, I'm going to focus on one. Go ahead and drop it in chat. What do you think it is? You're welcome, Allie. A positive view of life. Excellent. Love that. Belief, consistency. Excellent, Hannah. Absolutely. Invest. Yep. Absolutely. Focus. Absolutely. Focus is so important, Jennifer. All right. Let me tell you what the one I'm going to focus on. Those are probably all correct, but I have a little bit of research for you that I want to share with you Those who have a millionaire, kind of unleashed their millionaire mind, have a focus on inner growth and development. So you'd think that people like, who are focusing on, making millions or even billions are people that are just focusing on their external circumstances. Yeah, mindset. Love that, Louisa. Hi, Louisa. Nice to see you here. Right. They realize they have circumstances, not problems. Exactly. They believe that life is happening for them and they take action consistently. I love that. Right. So they're focusing on their inner growth and development. Let me give you a few examples about this. Barack Obama who is the president of the United States, just because we have an international audience here. Barack Obama, the former president of the United States, reads about 50 books a year. Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple back in the day, read the autobiography of a yogi, a book called The Autobiography of a Yogi about Yogananda. He read that book every year. At the beginning of every year, he would reread Autobiography of a Yogi. Elon Musk grew up reading 2 books a day. Arthur Blank, co-founder of Home Depot, reads 2 hours every day. Mark Zuckerberg, Oprah Winfrey, Steve Jobs, Steve Bezos, Sheryl Sandberg, all have or have had coaches that they worked with. And Gandhi was quoted as saying when he was really, really busy, that he meditated 2 hours a day, Gandhi did in the mornings. But if he was really, really busy, then he would have to meditate 3 hours a day. So when life was more demanding, he would increase his meditation time. Warren Buffett follows what he calls the 5-hour rule, where he spends at least an hour a day, 5 days a week, engaged in inner development, self-reflection, journaling, reading. So when you're wanting to get to the other side of this thing about money, learn from people who are, who have created extraordinary outcomes. And how they created extraordinary outcomes was absolutely being clear, taking action, believing in the benevolence of life itself. But how they did that was through focusing on their inner growth and development. Many of you know that Oprah came from really difficult early childhood experiences, came from poverty, came from abuse. But she focused on her inner growth and development and created an extraordinary life. And the truth is, so can you. That's also been my path. I was a social worker for many, many years, for 30 years. I was a therapist in private practice, and I also did consulting. And then I overlapped that when I was a therapist. I also, about 10 years into my role as a therapist, I got certified as a coach. So I've been an entrepreneur doing coaching, training, speaking, and writing books also for 30 years. So I've been coaching for 30 years. I just started doing training and development. And my first book was like 6 years ago. It was focusing on inner growth and development, which is why you will never unleash the millionaire mind if you keep doing this. If you maintain a low vibe, that is not the millionaire mind. If you blame anybody for the way that you think and feel. Ali very graciously said, I was raised this way. I know all of you have some version of that because I was a therapist for 30 years. I literally spent hundreds of thousands of hours listening to human beings talk about their lives. In fact, never did I have a psychotherapy client walk into my office, sit down in my chair and say, Jackie, I'm so glad I'm here today. Let me tell you what the problem is. It's me. Never, not once did that happen. Every single time people came into psychotherapy, they would come in telling me about why the other people were the problem. Okay. So blame, justify. Well, here's why I can't do it. Right. It's because of my past, or it's because I'm not smart enough, or I don't have that education. I don't have the confidence that you have. We'll develop it. I haven't learned that skill yet. We'll learn it. There is no justification for not pursuing your dreams. If you procrastinate, you will never unleash the millionaire mind by waiting for it to happen. You've got to make it happen. You will never unleash the millionaire mind by complaining that it's not so. Complaining is absolutely low vibe behavior because you're listening to that inner dialogue and you're believing it. Your inner dialogue complains all the time. right? Or is it just mine? How many of you have a lot of complaints in your inner dialogue, right? Just tell the truth, pick up that fur ball. You all do. I know that. It's the way human beings are. Let me just see what somebody, yeah, thank you, Maureen. She's like, yeah, you're speaking to me. We all do that. I mean, I can get in just briefly. I can tell you why that is, because your brain is not designed for you to thrive. It is designed for you to survive. So your brain is constantly on the lookout for a threat. And the brain interprets a threat as anything new and unfamiliar. So it's like, no, thanks. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Anything that might threaten the ego, how people will see me. What will they think of me if I fail? It's been really great. Replay in the Zoom meeting now. Okay, great, Jennifer. Thank you. Right. So what, you complain in your mind, and then when those complaints come out, the fact that you complain in your mind is less important. That you believe those complaints and then you express those complaints is the problem. That you play it safe. You don't want to try something new. And lastly, you will never unleash the millionaire mind by going it alone. You will never unleash the millionaire mind by going it alone. I promise you. So you've really got, because you'll only be in the energy field of your own vibratory pattern, working with a coach, working with a mentor, being a part of a community of high vibe people. That's what begins to change how you think and how you feel. This is so important because maintaining a low vibe like this, blaming, justifying, procrastinating, blame, play it safe, going it alone. Look, I know you're not bad people, right? You're really good people who want more from life. You're the doers, the dreamers, the derelicts. You are the people that want more from life. And there's some level that you're doing these things. The reason that you'll never unleash the millionaire mind when you're operating like this, when you're believing your thoughts, when you're giving voice to those thoughts, is that the energy of mind is the essence of life. It's a quote from Aristotle. And what that means is the way that you think, the way that you feel creates the essence of how you are living, creates the essence of what you are experiencing. So the energy of mind is the essence of life. So let's go on and look at the 5 critical beliefs that you need in order to unleash the millionaire mind. Remember, I said thoughts do not create your reality. What creates your reality is the beliefs that underlie those thoughts. So the first belief that you have to maintain, it's easy to make money. Do you believe that it's easy to make money? Right. I see you. All right. How about you guys? Hands up, hands out. Do you believe that it's easy to make money? Most people do not. Most people really struggle with the thought that it's easy to make money. My friend Faisal, who was on earlier, he's one of my buddies who says that all the time. Jackie, it's so easy to make money. So I love being around him. So you've got to be that person. It's easy to make money. And if you don't believe that's true for yourself, you can change that thought. How? There's a thing I teach called the 3 C's. Catch the thought. Oh, I don't believe it's easy to make money. Challenge the thought. Well, is it easy for anybody? Could it be easy for me? And then change the thought. What do I want to experience? I want to experience that belief. It's easy to make money. Guys, until you change that belief, if you keep believing that it's hard to make and retain money, that will be your experience. So changing that belief, it's easy to make money. Believe that you can do it. You are valuable and people want what you have to offer. In other words, believe in yourself. Again, this is where I see a lot of people can't unleash the millionaire mind. Well, I don't know. Will people actually pay me? Do you believe? Do you believe that what you have to offer, that what you want to teach, that what you want to produce in the world is valuable? And if you do, then you'll begin to unleash the millionaire mind. Thirdly, you've got to believe in your creative potential. Believe that you are co-creative. Believe that that you are the co-creative force through your beliefs, emotions, attitudes, and thoughts of what you bring into your world, that you can create those things that you dream of and imagine. How do we can believe that making money is easy? Yeah, so somebody asked, how do we develop the belief that making money is easy? So you practice that belief. I'm going to teach, because you asked that question, I was thinking about teaching this, and then I thought, nah, you know, this is going over anyway, but I'll teach you how. So I'm going to teach you how to clear negative beliefs. Okay, it's called a clearing exercise. On the left hand of a piece of paper, right, it's easy to make money. On the left hand, draw a line down the middle of a piece of paper. On the left hand of the paper, right, it's easy to make money. And then on the right hand of the piece of paper, write all of your objections to that thought. No, it's not. That's bullshit. It's really hard to make money. And then go back to the left side, write it again. It's easy to make money. And go back to the right side. No, I've tried my whole life. I've never had much luck making money. Write down all of your objections again. And then go back to the left side. It's easy to make money. If you continue in this process long enough, it's easy to make money, and then writing all of the objections. It's easy to make money, and then writing all of your objections. Sooner or later, your head gets quiet and you can shift the belief. Because once you've puked up all that negativity, what remains is truth principle. Let me say that again. Once you've unleashed all of your negativity, what remains is truth principle. And it is true that it's easy to make money because money is just energy. And when you understand how to manage the energy flow, you will understand that it's easy to make money because it's just creating a flow of money into your life. Was that helpful? Awesome. Great. So believe in your power to create. Believe that life is happening for you, not to you. In other words, believe in the benevolence of life itself. Again, you've got to look, you know, you're probably able to see really clearly now why you have not unleashed the millionaire mind. If you don't believe it's easy to make money, if you don't believe that in yourself and that you have value, if you don't see yourself as a co-creator, and if you don't believe in the benevolence of life. Oh, nice. I'm seeing some big yeses there. Awesome. Lastly, this is so important. Believing that manifesting your desires is a calling and a duty, and one that you are willing to commit your life to. So like, why does Elon Musk keep working? The guy is a billionaire. Why does Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates, why do they keep working when they have millions of dollars? Because they feel a sense of calling. They feel a sense of duty. They don't have to work. Warren Buffett doesn't have to work. But they continue to work because they feel a sense of calling, something bigger than themselves that is seeking expression through them. I feel a sense of calling to teach people to raise their consciousness and have a better relationship with money, with time, with love, with life. So these are the fundamental beliefs, and there are probably more, but this is a good place for you to start. To understand, these are the beliefs that will support you in creating and unleashing the millionaire mind. So let me just pause there for a minute. Anybody want to ask or say anything about these beliefs? Somebody already did ask a question, and that led to the clearing exercises. Yeah, Kim, go ahead.
Remember when we met a few years ago and I was on welfare?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've taken a lot of the things you say to heart over the years. And I can see that I'm partway there. Like, I have a full-time job now.
Great, Kim.
With benefits.
Yes, so great.
And it's doing something really important, working in a supportive housing unit with people who have experienced homelessness and substance abuse.
Good for you.
And the pay is really great.
Yep. So Kim, let's just cut to the chase. What's the question that you have?
No, it's just a comment.
Oh, it's a comment to let people know this actually works.
Yes, because you know that saying about where the world's needs and your passion meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what it is. And
so great.
I'm stuck in a couple of things, but I do have a lot more clarity.
Yeah.
And I just like, thank you, Jackie.
Oh, thank you so
I
much.
really would not be doing this if
we
I didn't change a lot of those beliefs I had when we met in Calgary.
Yeah. And I think about all the people's lives that you're touching, Kim, at the place that you're working, the shelter, helping people get back on their feet through helping them change their beliefs and their thoughts and their emotions. So it's so great to know the ripple effect continues.
And you know, like when we're stuck in all those dark places and we come out of it.
Yeah.
And then we work in the same community we were stuck in.
Yeah.
It gives me a lot of credibility.
Yeah.
You know, because I've been to jail. I have a lot in common with these people.
Right. And now you're living a different life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I share my story so much with people, letting people know I was homeless, letting people know I was addicted, letting people know I was depressed and with ADD and all over the map and hot mess to happy and blessed. Because if I can do it, anybody can. There's nothing special about me. I'm not smarter. I don't, the one thing I will say is I work hard on myself. I still do every morning. I have my quiet time, doing my self-development work every single day. So that's, I really appreciate that, Kim, so that people can see, like, you met me 5-6 years ago, you've been doing the work, kept in touch. And here it is, you're not only changing your life, you're helping other people change theirs as well. So let's go on to how do you unleash the millionaire mind? Well, it's a sum of everything that we've said. You've got to have that, that clarity of purpose. You've got to be willing to take responsibility. You've got to see yourself as the co-creator, active agent in your life. You've got to develop these beliefs and this mindset. You've got to raise your vibe and not believe the things that you think, recognize that that doesn't help. But the most important thing that you've got to do is work with someone that can guide you. Work with someone that can guide you, because I promise you, you truly cannot do it alone. Allowing yourself to be impacted by the work of other people, by the thinking, by the vibration of other people, working with a mentor to guide you is a really important piece. Throughout the years, I've had, probably 6 different coaches. I often am working with 2 different coaches at a time. Right now, I have 2 different coaches, one that's working with me on my money mindset, another one that's working with me on my business strategies. Because it's got to go together. You've got to change your mindset and you've got to change what you're doing, right? Keep elevating, keep growing. So work with a mentor to guide you. So let me talk a little bit about my gift that I said that I would give to you, and think about your next steps. Your gift for attending is a free consultation meeting with me, a free consultation. All you have to do is send me an email. You don't even have to go to a Calendly link and figure out, all of these times. Just send me an email at jackie@jackiewoodside.com. And I will gift you a free consultation with me. Now, because I know that people tend to procrastinate, I am only going to honor this gift for those who act now and email me within the next 24 hours. And because I have a lot going on in my life, I will only accept the first 7 people that contact me. I can basically fit that in over the next couple of weeks. For those of you who don't know, I have a teenage son that I'm caring for because it's summertime. He's got 2 jobs and no license. And I also care for my mom who has dementia over the summers. And I'm also running a business, and I'm also recovering from COVID. So I will accept 7 appointments. Oh yeah, I'm still dealing with it. I'm testing negative now, but I'm definitely still dealing with it. So you've got to be one of those people that's a dreamer, the doer, and the derelict that's willing to take action to unleash your millionaire mind. It's not going to happen by itself, guys. It's not going to happen by itself. You have to take the action and work with somebody that's been there. So I have a program that's starting in September. I will talk with you about that. And I will also help you understand all of the ways that, like in your specific circumstances, all of the ways that you can make a difference for yourself in unleashing your millionaire mind. Oh, thank you. Wishing me perfect health. Thank you. This is unbelievable. Oh, thank you. I'm Arcady, Mr. Arcady. I appreciate that. Arden Cotting, such a gift. Thank you. You're so welcome. So send me an email. I'm going to stop the share. Send me an email. If you're one of the first 7 people to contact me, I will be happy to meet with you. So I am complete with the presentation and I will stay here at 12:15. That's about what I thought. Good. I'm happy to stay here as long as you guys need to take questions and talk with any of you. So go ahead and and let me know what questions that you've got or comments that you have about the presentation. Oh, thank you so much, Kim. Already contacted you. Great, great, great. Go ahead, guys, take yourselves off mute. I'd like to just chat with you and who would like to ask or comment. Jackie, what's the program?
Jackie, yeah. It's Hannah.
Hi, Hannah. Louisa, I'll answer your question in just a second. Go ahead, Hannah. No, go ahead. Good.
I just have to thank you because quantum consciousness, I'm taking all the papers and everything that I have done since 2017 when I began on this journey with you.
Yeah.
And we all want things to happen right away. But the universe doesn't say that it's going to happen right away.
Yeah.
But we never give hope. Hope is the one thing that keeps us moving forward.
Absolutely.
And I just want to thank you because where you are right now are all the stepping stones to where we all lead.
Yeah.
And forever we are evolving.
It's so true, Hannah, you know, and I know I've really achieved a lot in my life. I've got, 3 waterfront homes, a wonderful marriage, work that I love. And I'm in a mastermind group where I'm like I don't know how to say it, but like the low man on the totem pole, like so not successful compared to these dudes. I was on a guy yesterday who was telling me that his company is turning like a $320,000 a month profit right now. And we were on a call yesterday. So it doesn't matter. That's the thing I love about the universe and numbers. It doesn't matter where you are. Like my next thing is I'm a 7-figure earner. Yes, I am, and this colleague of mine is making 7 figures, in 4 months time. So it's all relative. Numbers are infinite. So what's your vision? How does God want to express through you? That's the question, because that is unlimited. The only limiting factor is like our consciousness becomes like a garden hose in the Niagara Falls, the watershed flow that universe is. All right. Thank you, Hannah, for that. So somebody's asking me, I want to know what are some good ways to influence our beliefs and deep-rooted patterns and change them effectively by living good and constructive beliefs. So I just want to say pretty much everything I've said today. That exercise that I taught you about the 3 C's, catch your thought, challenge your thought, and change your thought. Catch your thought, challenge your thought, change your thought. So, there's that thought again. God, I can't do it. Look at Jackie. She's been like so successful at this. I can't be like her. Catch that thought. And then challenge it. Is that true? No. Is that thought going to serve me? No. Does that thought create the future that I want? No. Do I want to feel that way? No. Great. Then change the thought. Jackie's a great mentor. I bet I could email her. I bet I could have a conversation with her that would make a difference, right? You just did it. You changed a belief just like that. The problem is, and people ask me this all the time, I've tried before, I couldn't do it. No, it's that you stopped trying, damn it. Stop stopping. Stop empowering your doubts and your fears and empower your possibility and your universal truth. That's the only thing that happened is you stopped. Don't tell me it doesn't work. It works. I am freaking living proof of it. Yeah, I love what they say in the 12-step programs, and I'll say this to you as well. It works if you work it. So how you change your beliefs is every minute of every day, recognize that life is serving up to you who you are. That, cynical, worried, fear-based, scarcity-minded person is what life is. Those thoughts, that's who I am. Okay. Is that who I want to be? Hell no. It's easy to make money. Write on a piece of paper. No, it's not. I've always struggled. It's easy to make money. Well, maybe it could be someday. It's easy to make money. I wish that were true. Just keep doing it. You got to do the work. You know, in some ways, stop getting on webinars like this and do the work instead. You could do this work that I've given you today the rest of your life. I do clearing exercises all the time. You get it, guys? You got to do the work. All right. I don't think there's any other questions in chat. Any other questions that people want to ask? Okay, great. So what I've taught you today, what's the program? Right, Louisa, thank you for reminding me, hon. Louisa, good to see you on here. So I am starting a program in September called the Money Vibe Mastermind Group, the first Tuesday in September. I think it's the 6th. The Money Vibe Mastermind Group, which is a 3-month weekly coaching call with an accountability group, your Millionaire Mind Master Group, so that you are working the principles of the program. It's a coaching course, so you get weekly group coaching with me live. It's not recorded. I mean, it is recorded, but I'm teaching live like this. So it is a weekly coaching call with me in a group, and you get a monthly individual coaching call with me as well. It's called the Money Vibe Mastermind Group. And for those of you that are interested in that and like know you want to do it, if you email me now, I'll give you $1,000 off the tuition. If you know you want to do it and you email me now, I will give you $1,000 off the tuition. You have to remind me that I said that. I'll believe you because I will forget. All right. Any other questions that people have? You just check the chat one more time. Oh, thank you, Pedro. That's awesome. You're so welcome. A result of COVID. I didn't know what that was. Anyway, I'm hanging in there. I'm still definitely dealing with some long COVID symptoms, but I'm going to overcome it. I'm overcoming it as we speak. I'm working with I just started today working with an Ayurvedic practitioner to try to boost this up a little bit. Teresa, the words, here we go. Oh, that was an excellent workshop. Thank you. The words, money making is easy as a surprise. Can I create my dream at age 83? I don't care what your age is. You can create your, I'm going to be teaching these principles in the day hall of a nursing home someday, probably at 99 and a half. And I'll have people paying me for it too. They'll probably pay me in cups of coffee and back rubs. How's that? So yeah, Teresa, I don't care. You can just do it. God doesn't care how old you are. How old would you be if you didn't know what your age was? Right? I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm not educated enough. Just stop it, man. Stop it. See, that's one of those thoughts that you don't want to believe. And good for you for being on here, Teresa, at 83 plus. Good for you. Good for you. It's awesome. All right, dudes, I've had a great time with you all. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, Hannah, thank you. That's very kind. I love being with you guys. And yeah, so I hope to get an email from a whole bunch of you. Don't just be on here and then go on to the next thing. Do something, dudes, that's going to change your freaking life. God, take action. Don't be pissing me off here. Take action. It is high vibe plus clarity plus action that creates the domain of miracles. Jackie at JackieWoodside.com. Thank you, dude. You're welcome, dude. Pedro. Here, I will drop that in the chat for you guys. Jackie at JackieWoodside. Oh, that was just to Kim. Sorry. I wanted to do it to everybody in the meeting. Hold on. There we go. That's my email address. And I look forward to hearing from a shitload of you. And I look forward to saying to some of you, sorry, too late. I already got my 7. I'm getting punchy. Thank you, Teresa. Full of grazie. What is that? That's the word for gratitude. I love that. What my friend Ken Honda, he's a author in Japan. Arigato. He's Japanese. Arigato is gratitude. And he tells me I'm arigato for life. Arigato. He wrote a book called Happy Money. So Ken and I have done some work. Yeah, Arigato money, exactly right, Pedro. Ken Honda wrote a book called Happy Money. And he says arigato to his money all the time. So let's do that for each other today. All right, you guys, follow me on Instagram, Jackie Woodside Speaker. Follow me on Facebook at the Vibe Tribe and Money Vibe Mastery. But most importantly, if you know you want to do that September program, just send me an email. I'll give you $1,000 off. And if you want a free consult with me, send me an email, but you do have to do it today. All right, awesome sauce. See you dudes next month. I do a free masterclass every month. I love you. It's so great to be with each and every one of you. Keith, thank you. You and I didn't interact, but hello and thank you. Pedro, thanks for all your sweetness. Alex, I see you. Tammy, I see your beautiful picture. Renata, always good to see you. Jeanette, you're lovely. And Buyer, always. My heart was with you always in our community. And yeah, Alex, great to see you. Hannah, oh my gosh, so great to see you again. Mr. Ardenkani, I love having you on from our call today. So Jeanette, thank you. Pavlina, thank you so much for your kind words. Just lovely to be with each and every one of you. So God bless, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.